There we go. Alright, perfect. So, right now I'm in the studio Showtech in Eindhoven, the Netherlands. I'm staying here for a while. And, yeah, amazing studios, obviously. As you can see, I have no idea what anything of these do, but that's not needed. Alright. Go through this project. Yeah, smiley. Why not? So, I'm gonna start with Feel My Soul, which is like a special track to me. It was the first track that got huge support from everyone, from Martin Garrix to Avicii and stuff. So yeah, it's kind of special to me. How it started out was with this vocoder thing. It was actually from a royalty-free sample that said something like, okay, it's crashing, never mind. Yep, crashing. I'll just oh, perfect. So yeah, the vocal started like this. No, that was what I did with it. Sampler. So it says "Feel the Love," and then I put it in the tone machine in Contact, which come on, yeah. Feel My Soul kind of sounds like it. So this part right here, I use this Echo Boy thing, which is an amazing delay plugin. So it just switches it, which is automated so that it goes Feel My Soul, and it kind of goes back into it, and just played in those notes, and then this part comes in with where I do chords with that vocal in the tone machine. Very simple chords with some rides, pitching upwards, just a pluck bassy kind of sound. I'm gonna answer more questions later, so just like I'm gonna do like 10 minutes walkthrough and then 10 minutes Q&A, and yeah, I'll just continue like that through the track, I think, and in the end I can do more questions and shit. So yeah, and then some reverse cymbal, which goes into the piano part. This is actually just one instance of M1, but this Korg M1, which is, yeah, it's a very used kind of piano, but it's, yeah, because it sounds amazing. This track started with the chords, which are really like emotional, and all the feels pretty simple chords, but they they work very well into each other with just parametric EQ and no reverb at all, actually. And with the sub sound, the chords, one of the chords are like down and one are up in pitch, and simple white noise pan sound, and the rides continue into it. And I have some panning with the delay on the thing here, so it goes. So it kind of switches up from each time it goes through. And then a simple, because I do that in every track, and I love that sound. Yeah, the preset I started from was, I think it's called when you go to piano, it's called piano mix 1 or 2, and then I tweaked it on from there because it's very tweakable, the M1, and then it goes into the yeah, pitch which is very simple. It's just the repeated chords, kick, sub down, and yeah, which are supposed to be, yeah, and also with the main lead coming in slowly with this weird lead that is, yeah, I won't even play. The main synth comes from Synplant, which is, yeah, the weirdest plugin you can find, I think, and with just a kalimba, just to get some attack on it, and it's pitched, as you can see down here. Alright, I'll get rid of the smiley, sorry. Forgot it was on there. Alright. So yeah. It pitches up into a small little fill. Alright, so that's pretty much the break. And are there any questions for that part? I'll show more percussions later. Yeah, I'll solo the Synplant for a second, if I can get to do that. Just getting rid of this and this. So it's, yeah, it's very windy and just a weird sound, but it sounded really good on top of the other sounds for some reason. Most of my sounds sounds really shit alone, but when they get together with the proper sounds, it works. Yeah, I only EQ'd out the lows on the piano actually. I usually do a lot more, but that just worked, and sometimes you just gotta do for what works. Sample packs, I use a lot of the what's it called? Wave Alchemy sound effects, and for plucks, no, I mean percussions, I go through so many different samples, like random packs I find, because I don't want to use the same kind of sounds all over again. Is the sound card important? Yeah, it can be. It can be. Like, you need some threshold of goodness on your sound card, or else it can affect the quality of the sound. But I think most sound cards will, external sound cards will do that well, and it also depends on the delay you get. So, for instance, this has the opportunity of having 50 milliseconds, so you spare your CPU. The chords, yeah, I did actually play the piano, classically trained for a couple of years when I was younger. No effects on the piano except from internal things. Tips on melody writing, yeah, I can do that later. Will I ever make a sample pack? Yeah, I could do that. What time does the striptease start? Maybe the end, I think. Please take us through what you did to the main synth. Yeah, I'll do that later. Could you explain how to drop? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. More project. Why spaghetti? Dude, spaghetti's delicious. Alright. Damn, I can't follow through with this. Follow up with these questions. Producing a track, is less really more? It really depends though. You can have very few sounds and it sound extremely good, but I tend to get things sounding a bit different, to layer a lot, because then it's difficult for others to emulate the same kind of sounds. So that's usually what I do to make things sound a bit more different. Do you put the master volumes on dB up in the drop? No, I usually do when I master. Like, I don't push it that hard with the limiter towards the end of the build, so that it has a bit more breathing space, and when the drop hits, it hits like a brick. Solo the percussions, please. How many different layers make the kick? Just one layer, actually. I'll show you that now. I'll go to the drop. Oh shit, what happened to my voice there? I'll go to the drop now. So the kick, I do everything in one layer for some reason. People hate on me, but this is how I do it. So this is the kick. It's actually, this is major key. This is the kick plugin from Sonic Academy. You don't need the Nick Romero Artist Edition, but just the new one is out now, the number 2 I think, and that's amazing. You can, the thing about this is you can pretty much create your own kicks from the bottom. You can import your own clicks, like top of the kick sounds. So you can have, if you find a sample and you really like the top but you don't like the bottom, you can just import the click from that into this and then create your own sub. You can do, yeah, the volume obviously, the length, the distortion, and most importantly the notes. So I don't know if you can zoom, yeah. So I put this in the key of the bass line, which helps a lot to make things sound more coherent and well mixed. Do I write the entire song and then go deeper into details? Yeah, I usually do that. I just get the creative part down and then I go in and yeah, just fix everything up later. There is, how long do I sleep on average? Well, that's a funny question. I haven't slept for a while now. I'm too excited about this new track I'm making. How do you make all the different rhythms work so well in the drop? I think it's important to, when you create a track, that you think about the energy level. You don't want things to be cluttered, but you want things to happen all the time, so things keeps the interest going. I'll just, first you hit with the chords and the first note of them. Yeah, to take this as an example, you first hit the bam. That's just the chords, and the main pitch, the main lead goes down in pitch, and then you hit twice with the chords, bam. And then there's a little break to get some breath and pause into the melody. So there you can have space for like percussions and then reverse, which I have done here, reverse reverb kind of thing, and then into the next part. So you always, I think the energy level is important when you like how you arrange the different elements to hit. It's important to think about that. How do you get the tracks to translate so well, sounding well on every kind of system? Thanks. I usually just check everything on every system I have, and if it sounds good everywhere, then it does. I usually check underways in the mix too. So, can you show the kick and sub? Yes, I can. Let's see. I always, for some reason, change how I make my sub from track to track. It's pretty much rarely the same, but it's often just a simple sine wave, triangle wave with some upper harmonics with maybe another layer. So here we have the kick, and the sub should be around here. Oh, here it is, here it is. Yeah, you probably can't hear that, but this one is from amazing preset, Punch in the Balls, from the plugin Razor in Reactor, which is pretty much just a punchy sine wave kind of thing, which I just did some sidechain on 100% to get everything out of the way for the kick. And yeah, I just messed with the presets to see which one worked the best with the kick, just to make sure that when the kick plays, the sub is out. Why am I always so happy on stage? Because it's really funny to play. I like it. How many pianos in the drop? Alright, I'll go through layer for layer, I think. Well, okay, you heard the kick and clap. No, the kick and sub. And, yeah. Can I change to FL, please? I am in FL. This is how it sounds without the layers. It's just a ride, just to get some high frequencies in on the one. And then the claps is just this sample, the snare to get the top, and then this more bottomy sound. Yeah, that's actually it. Which sounded good to me at the time. Alongside with this thing, which is like a screech. It sounded like some like a hawk thing with yeah, that's it. And some crowd noise actually just in the background. It's a tip you can use pretty much everywhere in the track. I just have some really low crowd noise in the track. You can't really hear it, but it just adds up another layer in the background, so it never is. It just sounds more human for some reason. And yeah, let's look at these, which is this is the layer of the piano in the drop, where I did some MS EQing, which is so you can cut down the middle of the image spectrum. You can cut down the high frequencies there, because there I had the lead. The lead is very high, so I needed that space in the middle, so I cut down from the piano, and then I raised the sides, because the lead is in the side, no, in the center. So I just raised the sides of the piano on the top, which just gave it a bit more room to breathe. Yeah, I layered it in. I cued it? No, I kind of like sent it to this Valhalla reverb. Very simple. You can even copy the settings because I'm so close now. Parametric EQ, cutting down the lows, and then 74% kickstart. Just to get some sidechain going, and then I have the bass lines. No, this is the bass line. It's very simple. Yeah, they sound really bad alone. Jesus Christ. And then I have these which is just fillers of like super saw kind of things, which are all sent to this OTT, which is a multiband upwards downwards compressor, which just squeezes shit together with another compressor. And then I took down the mids again in the middle, because these sounds are panned. I don't know if you can see that, but these are panned to the sides. All four of them. They're panned differently, and they're all. When I pan things to either side, I do doubling of the plugin. So this one is a bit different. I just detuned it a bit different, I think, than the other one, and pan it across the spectrum. Put the notes a millisecond or two in delay, as you can see, and then they sound spread out. So I did that just as a filler, really, and then the top lead. There's just 3 layers, I think. By the way, it says my connection is weak. Is it weak? So this is 3 layers anyway. First, the kalimba. Which is very simple. OTT, just to get it fat. A reverb. Parametric EQ. And a compressor, because it was really staccato. And it was a bit too much, but it still sounds like it's supposed to be. Can I show my... That's my face. So yeah, and this is the main sound. which is Center Reverb. I'm sorry that I can't show my whole screen, like live stream from the screen, because it would be awkward if I opened like a file and it says like Ghost Production for XXX. That would be, yeah, I'd get sued pretty much. So I can't do that, but I hope this works for you guys. Yeah, I did reverb, parametric EQ, and I did this BitSpeak, which is a weird ass plugin. Without, with. It actually just makes it sound worse. But in the mix, it just added crunchiness to it that worked well. And I, yeah, did the sides, boosted them a bit. And the last layer is... yeah, just to get some body on the lead. It's still pretty weak, but it's... the piano is so strong, so it's kind of okay. So yeah, you have the pitches here, as you can see, which is very simple. Yeah, I'll show mastering before I shut down, no worries. So yeah, and oh yeah, the basses. They sound horrible, but I'll show you how I did them. It's just send to this one. It even has a reverb on it, and then parametric EQ, Kickstarter, and then this other one. Hey, Mike Williams. So yeah, this is pretty much it. It sounds horrid, but alright, I'll read some comments now and see if there's anything I missed. Yeah, you can probably not even see this, but you can see on these ghost notes that I just fucked things up on purpose, so it sounds a bit more human, which is a good tip, I think. Other automations explained, please. Okay, let me see. I think most of these are not of any use. It's just pitch for everyone. And then there's a volume envelope. This is the wet and dry of delay, because here it was a break, so I didn't want the delay going into there because I wanted other things there. No, Mike, I don't even produce. Can you show your nipple? Maybe towards the end. Which reverb I use? I use Valhalla a lot. How long I've been producing? I've been producing like 5 years, maybe 5, 6, I think. Oh, how time flies. A lot of reverb on a sound, and then you render that out, and then you reverse it again. So then it's reversed. Do you use Spitfish? No, I don't use Spitfish. Jonas Aden is Marshmallow. Master channel, please. Yeah, I'll go through that later. I don't think I mastered it in this project. When will you grow a proper beard? That hurts my feelings, dude. Do you master on the... no, I master on the external project, or later. How long have you been producing? Yeah, I answered that. In intro, yeah, okay, I can show the intro, actually. It's pretty much the drop, just simplified, I think. Didn't Martin Warwick produce? No, he did not. Not this one. Alright, I'll answer this one first. Any tips to get your music out there? Well, the thing is, remixes, as I did, is awesome. Doing remixes of popular tracks, and I chose Lean On, which was like the best choice ever. So I was really lucky with that. But pretty short, and the sub is pretty... the sub sidechain kind of fits that. So it's this curve. So I went here into the kick and I adjusted the length of it to make sure that it fit, so they didn't cancel each other out or it started to phase or something. Favorite plugin right now? I think that's gotta be Alter Boy by Echo Boy. No, Echo Boy actually by Sonic Toys, which is this thing right here. Amazing delay plugin. You can do so much weird shit with it. Show the melody. Alright, I will. So these are the chords. Very standard. Or not very standard, but and then I have the top lead, which is yeah, so it's just a natural progression of the chords, really. How long did it take to grow that hair? It's almost been like 2 years now. Jesus. Are you going to show more projects? Very possible. How'd you learn all about music? I just read a lot and I watched a lot of tutorials. Can I talk more about the pianos? There's not much to say. I use either or a layer of all of them. The M1, which is Korg. You have amazing presets from the start and you can just tweak them to your liking. And you can use contact pianos are amazing, especially the Giant. Someone mentioned it in the comments. Yeah, it won't. Come on. Amazing sounds, really fat. If you answer me, I will kiss my brother. Kiss your brother, Konstantin. Share the love. Do you miss Norway? Yes, Norway is cool. Can I make a deep house remix of your song Breath for You? It's called Breathe, but yeah, go for it. Hey Jonas, any advice for young producers? Also, lately I've been having trouble creating new music. I feel like I have a writer's block. That thing. It's crazy. I'll load up a new instance of it. Plant, where you at? There you go. It has sounds like this. And this. Alright, so this is major key mastering tips. This is all I do every time, pretty much. Oh yeah, I can show the vocals first. This is the vocals.
Mercy true, mercy true, mercy true, mercy true, mercy true.
That's how it sounds alone. I just turned 20 like a month ago. Or 2? I don't even months anymore. Right, so the way I master is I have the pre-master, which I try and have at least 6 decibels of headroom. And then I slap on an isotope. I use the imager just to get below like 200 Hertz away, like in the middle, because you don't need that on the sides anyway. And give it a bit of width on the other ones, just adjust to taste really. I use the exciter. I'm just gonna go through this quickly. I use the dual tryout, I like that one. And just a bit on the top to get it a bit fuzzy and clear. And then I run it through this limiter, that's what it's called. Where I just limit it a bit already there, because then I'm gonna feed it into a compressor, right? So when I cut off, because this limiter just cuts everything, right? And when I cut off the worst peaks, it feeds into the compressor more nicely, because then the compressor won't attack heavily on those large peaks. So I've already pre-made it for this guy, the glue. And the limiter is called Invisible Limiter, by the way. It's one of the best I've found so far. And yeah, just very slight, very slight mastering. It's actually more of a parallel compression because it's only at like 70% wet, so it just kind of, the compressed signal mixes into the dry one. And then, why do you have a reverb here? Oh, it's automated, never mind. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So I feed this into another limiter again, which is, yeah, limiting quite heavily. Which you can see it's quite heavy. And then I have just a dB DR meter, dynamic range meter. So I can check the RMS and stuff like that. Why? Yeah, that's pretty much my mastering chain actually. And I automate the volume, as you can see up here, just to make it fit, because you see that the levels are all off in the track itself. So I compensate with these automations. Alright,